is there an element of neuroplasticity that makes the age of 3 so important? And the other kind of sub-question I was trying to figure out in my head was, is the damage we do before 3 years old to a child inadvertently at all reversible?
Okay.
And is it damage?
So plasticity, there are certain what we call critical periods of right or social emotional brain development. One is 0 to 3, and it's the most important because what's happening is something called neurogenesis. So it's the growth of cells. And your presence as a parent who provides safety and security, buffers your child from stress, regulates their emotions, is critical to them growing that right brain, because 85% of their right brain is developed by 3. Crazy, right? 85%. And you being there changes the architecture of that brain. That's how important you are. Like, people come up to me in cocktail parties and they'll say to me, I don't have to be there. My baby's just sleeping and pooping and, they don't need me. I'm going to be around when they're talking and walking. I'm like, no. I'm like, you got it wrong. I'm like, you have to be here now, because now is when the cell growth is happening. Every time a baby snuggles and takes the breast and looks at you with their eyes and you sing to them, thousands, millions of synapses are firing. Okay, so think of a garden. By 3 years of age, you're growing a garden. I know, because I just started a garden where I have vegetables and flowers, and it's abundant. I love my garden. This is an abundant garden of brain tissue, okay? If you do it right, it grows, it overgrows, the flowers, the vegetables, it's growing crazy, okay? Now they go into childhood. After 3 years old, they go into childhood. And from 3 years old till about 9 years old, it's still growing, but it's not growing at the same pace. So say that it's still like growing a little, the garden grows in one big burst and then little bursts. So from 3 to 9, it's still growing, right? But not to the same degree as the first critical period of brain development. Now adolescence comes, 9 to 25. And now you have to prune back the garden, because if you don't prune back the cells you don't need, it's as damaging to the brain as if you didn't grow them to begin with. So in these 2 critical windows, the environment dictates, do the cells grow? Do they get pruned? And when they're really little, you're their environment. You're it. Tag, you're it. When they're in adolescence, you're a very important part of the environment, but not all of their environment. They have friends, they have school, they have activities, right? And so, as you don't know what's going to happen to them, and you want to fortify them, right? You want to fortify them so when they get to adolescence, which is really painful and hard and a struggle, that they have the inner resources to cope with adolescence, because it's so hard, adolescence, right? And it offers such adversity, social adversity, academic adversity, right? Social media. So both of these periods are important. If you miss the first window,
0 to 3.
Yes, the title of my second book, it's called Chicken Little, The Sky Isn't Falling, Raising Resilient Adolescents in the New Age of Anxiety. If that isn't a mouthful. Do you know what the title of the book was supposed to be? It was supposed to be Second Chances. And the title of being there was supposed to be called The Lost Instinct.
So if you messed up your kids, you get a second chance.
You get a second chance. And what do? I want people to read the book because it's more nuanced than what I'm saying. A lot of what you should have done in the first 3 years. So you gotta be there. You gotta be there in a different way. You're not gonna, they're not little, so, but when they come home from school, if you are not there, when the door swings open, everybody knows that teenagers close their doors, if they have doors. And that's their way of saying, my defenses are up, go away. If parents work really hard and then they come home and they go, knock, 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 I'm here to spend time with you. How was your day? That door's closed. Closed, baby, closed. If you aren't there when the door opens on its own, on their terms, if you're not there when they're coming out to get a snack or to take a pee or to take a break from their studying, if you're not there then and open for business, for communication, you gotta be there. You gotta be there in a different way. You're not gonna, they're not littles. If you're not there when they're coming out to get a snack or to take a pee or to take a break from their studying, if you're not there then and open for business, for communication, the door closes again. So it goes back to this idea that children need you when they need you, not when you're personally available. And if you miss that window, it's not the end of the world, because you can, a word that we use is to repair. You can repair a lot of the damage, but to repair the damage, you can't go back, sort of like going to a confessional if you're Catholic. You go in and you say, oh, Father, I murdered somebody today. And the priest says, well, say 12 Hail Marys, and I don't know, I'm not Catholic, but but you can't go out and murder again. So if you're going to repair, it means that whatever happens between you and your child, you're trying to be a better parent. You're trying to do things differently, right? You can't take advantage of their good graces and keep pushing them away, but repair is possible, because the brain is plastic and it's always growing and shrinking until it's not.